Hello guys, how you all doing? Thank you so much for joining me here. So I have a video here that I would love to react, and it says Elvis Presley's last words before death is heartbreaking. The late king had one last wish.
For those who heard them, Elvis Presley's final words continue to haunt them. Everyone was stunned by Presley's untimely death, especially since the king of rock and roll was still planning his personal life and profession at the time.
Oh,
He died on August 16, 1977, at 1:30 p.m. inside his Memphis mansion of a heart attack caused by his addiction to prescription barbiturates, according to doctors. But the final words he spoke to his stepbrother 2 days before he passed away broke everyone's hearts. In this video, we'll talk about Elvis Presley's last words before his death and what his last wish was.
sad.
Billy Stanley can still clearly remember his last conversation with Elvis Presley, his stepbrother. On August 14, 1977, the musician was excitedly displaying his new Curette blades. While the two were sparring, Stanley fired an unexpected punch, which caused Presley to respond quickly. Stanley cut his finger, causing a blood blister to grow. Stanley, who recently wrote his new book, The Faith of Elvis, chuckled to Fox News Digital. He realized that he hit me, so he instantly dropped the knives, grabbed my finger, and walked me to the bathroom. He recalled, "We were standing by the sink, facing this big mirror, and here was Elvis, making a big deal out of this, like he was going to have to do surgery or something, while I was just standing there in wonder, smiling at him." However, the mood became somber. Presley then softly questioned Stanley if he believes God forgives people for their sins. The brothers reportedly discussed it for nearly 17 years, but the famed singer wanted to hear it from him.
Of course.
"Do you believe God forgives us for all our sins?" Elvis had asked him, to which he answered, "Well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about this for almost 17 years,
He
Elvis.
does.
I just wanted to hear you say that, Billy. That's what he told me," Stanley recalled. The topic shifted to the future, and after that, it shifted to love. Presley told his younger sibling that he would find it one day, saying that he had been in love twice, without naming names. Stanley recounted. He said, "You couldn't even guess, Billy." Following that, Presley declared he was going to read his Bible. Stanley assured Presley he would visit him on August 16. Presley said, "Okay, I love you."
Oh,
Stanley considered going back to Presley while he was on his way home to tell him how much he loved him. He changed his mind, reminding himself that they will meet again in a few days. It was Stanley's last time seeing Presley alive. The rock and roll legend died on August 16, 1977, at the age of 42. He spoke to Fox News Digital while holding back tears and said, "I wish I had gone back." Numerous books have been written about the brief life of one of the most legendary figures in American music. In 1989, Stanley published a book titled Elvis, My Brother. Elvis, a biography directed by Baz Luhrmann, raised the stakes at the box office earlier in 2022. Stanley, on the other hand, intended to concentrate on Presley's connection with God this time. He claimed that
I don't like watching sad memories of Elvis. He died at a very young age. But guess what? The songs he made, memories he made, is going to outlive all of us. He had a fulfilled life, to be honest.
near-death experience in 2018, or a near-God experience involving the Widowmaker, pushed him to investigate Presley's beliefs. Vernon Presley remarried in 1960 after the death of his first wife, Gladys, in 1958. Presley received 3 younger brothers as a result of the marriage. Stanley was only 7 years old at the time. I remember him picking up all 3 of us at the same time and saying, "I've always wanted a younger brother. Now I have 3, Stanley recalled. We didn't know who he was, but he talked to us all night and tucked us in, and the following morning, he came running in like a fire drill. "You gotta get up." We go out to the backyard, and there are 3 of every kind of toy you could think of. He had a store open up after we went to bed. On that particular day, the brothers acquired more than simply gifts.
Aw.
Presley, according to Stanley, taught them the value of saying their prayers every day. Every evening, they expressed gratitude for their blessings, and Presley spent much of his time reading the Bible,
Oh, wow.
taking
He's a
notes, and
believer.
highlighting passages that spoke to him. Those teachings, according to Stanley, were evident when he later worked for him on the road for over 2 years. One of his responsibilities was to transport his Bible wherever they went. Many people are unaware of the fact that Elvis would sing gospel songs till dawn after each performance, according to
Aw.
Stanley. He was in contact with the Lord. Well, he did this and that, a lot of people claimed, but we all fall short. We're all just humans. Most Christians live under a magnifying glass. Elvis, on the other hand,
course, we are human.
lived under a microscope because he was a big star. It was difficult. But to put it another way, he carried the devil on one shoulder and God on the other. And there was a constant war going on in his thoughts. Presley's physical health was deteriorating by the mid-1970s. He had grown dangerously dependent on his prescribed medications. In 1973, his marriage to Priscilla Presley ended. However, Stanley claimed that at difficult times, Presley found solace in the teachings of God. Elvis Presley had flourishing plans for his future. During the conversation, Presley revealed his next steps toward making significant changes in his life. The long-standing manager, Colonel Tom Parker, and his staff were apparently planned to be fired by the king of rock and roll. This came as no surprise, though, as it was revealed that Park had been stealing millions from the singer for decades. Additionally, he wanted for Stanley to leave his position as an assistant jet mechanic at the airport and return to work for him. Presley concluded their talk by expressing his stepbrother how much he loved him and promising to read his Bible. However, that was the last time Stanley saw Presley alive before he died a few days later at the age of 42.
Aw.
In the mid-1970s, the singer began to experience medical problems. He also became
Sad.
dependent on prescription medicines at the time. A day before he passed away, he requested his stepbrother, Ricky Stanley, to collect 6 dilaudid tablets from Baptist Memorial Hospital's pharmacy after his personal doctor, Dr. Nikopoulos, gave him the prescription. According to reports, he wanted to get some sleep before his stay in Maine, so he reportedly took all the medications before taking the second and third packages of pills and pain relievers. He went to the bathroom a few hours later because of extreme constipation and never came out alive. His fiancée, Ginger Alden, was the one to find him. Just after 2 p.m., I'd awoke and walked into Elvis's bedroom in search of him. The bathroom door was cracked open a little. I knocked on the door and said, "Elvis?" There was no answer. Slowly opening the door, I peered in and saw Elvis on the floor. I stood paralyzed. Elvis looked as if his entire body had completely frozen in a seated position, then fallen forward. Ginger wrote in her memoir, "Thanks for watching."
Guys, this is a sad one. What struck her for me is how he carried the devil on one shoulder and God on the other shoulder. Wow, he struggled. His last day on earth was a sad one. Believe me, there will never be another Elvis. I'm just grateful for the good music he made. His music will continue to inspire a whole lot of people. I believe he's in a better place for the fact that he made peace with God before he died. It's enough for him to be in a better place. I'm glad he made enough memories and will live through it and continue to live through it. My heart goes out to everyone that is struggling with one addiction or the other. Please do everything you can to stay alive. That's all you have. Prioritize your health, okay? Please take one step at a time. Don't be hard on yourself. Learn to love yourself. You have so much to live for. See you on the next one. Bye bye.